Yes, students. In the previous sessions, we have completed the Fourier transformations and we have solved some problems also based on that. So today I will introduce Fourier sine and cosine transformations. And remember, and we are discussing only infinite Fourier transformation. Okay. So the infinite Fourier transformation we are discussing. Infinite Fourier transform that we have defined as Fourier transform of a function f of x will be is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity f of x e power I s x, s is the parameter, dx, and obviously this is the Fourier transform. I'll get it as a f of s. I'll get it as a f of s. Now inverse Fourier transformation, that again I'll get back f of x, that is inverse Fourier transformation of f of s. That will be, there is a multiple factor, that is 1 by 2 pi, that is minus infinity to plus infinity f of s e power minus I s x. Now it is ds. Okay, this is the infinite Fourier transformation that we have defined. Now I'll define Fourier sine transformation. Fourier sine transformation of f of x. Fourier sine transformation of f of x. The Fourier sine transformation of f of x is defined as, so let's say I'll indicate with the symbol Fourier sine transformation. I'll get as a function of s. So you write like this: Fourier sine transformation of the function f of x is defined as, it is simply the integration from 0 to infinity. Remember here, x is varying from 0 to infinity, f of x into, so instead of e power I s x, here it is only sine will come, sine part, sine of s x into dx. Into dx. In a similar manner, we can define the inverse Fourier transformations also. So inverse Fourier transformation, the inverse formula, inverse Fourier sine transformation. So inverse Fourier transformation of this sine function, then again I'll get back f of x, that will be is equal to inverse transformation of sine. Remember it is sine. It will be is equal to f of s. Then again the multiplication factor will come as 2 by pi here. So remember this is the multiplication factor 2 by 5. Then this is 0 to infinity Fourier transformation, that is sine transformation of sine of sx into ds. Remember here, see, in Fourier transformation of the function f of x, here the limits from 0 to infinity, f of x sine of sx in integration with respect to x here. But in inverse Fourier transformation, integration with respect to s. Okay, that be careful. Okay, we'll do the mistakes. Here and here, both the places, generally you have the habit of x, that's why we'll put x. That will become wrong. Okay, be careful. Now we'll see the Fourier cosine transformation. Fourier cosine transformation. Fourier cosine transformation. Fourier cosine transformation. Fourier cosine transformation of f of x. The Fourier cosine transformation of f of x is defined as, it is a cosine transformation, then I will get function as a function of s, the parameter is, the cosine transformation of the function f of x is defined as 0 to infinity that function f of x. So in the previous case we have written sine, now you write the cos of sx, differentiation with respect to x, sorry integration with respect to x. Then how we will define inverse Fourier cosine transformation? So that I will get as f of x back, that is inverse cosine transformation of f of cs will be is equal to, remember the factor, that is 2 by pi will come here, that is 0 to infinity f of cs cosine transformation cos of sx, but differentiation integration with respect to s. Okay, that you don't forget. So if you forgot, then it will be the problem. Okay, fine. Now we will take some examples to understand what is the Fourier sine transformation and what is the Fourier cosine transformations. Once you take the examples, then only you can understand very clearly. Let us go for the examples. At least two examples we will take. See, remember, so whatever the example we will take here, that is obviously a thing is like that, you need to depend on the integration. So you must know simplification of the integrations. If you know the simplification of integration, then it is okay. Otherwise, you will face the problem. Okay, fine. So let us take a simple example here. I am taking a simple example. So the problem as follows. Find the sine and cosine Fourier transform of, find the Fourier sine transformation and Fourier cosine transformation of the function f of x will be is equal to 2 into e power minus 5x plus 5 into e power minus 2x, 5 into e power minus 2x. This is the function. So we need to calculate sine transformation and cosine transformation. Let's first determine the, so first we will go for the sine transformation, Fourier sine transformation. So what is the formula for Fourier sine transformation? Just now we have written the formula. The formula will be Fourier sine transformation of the function f of x will be is equal to 0 to infinity f of x into sine of sx into dx. And here we have two functions. This is one function and this is one function. So that's why Fourier sine transformation of this f of x will be is equal to 0 to infinity 2 multiplied by e power minus 5x into sine of sx dx plus 0 to infinity 5 multiplied by e power minus 2x sine of sx into dx. Okay, so this is what. Okay, fine. Now we need to integrate this. So to integrate this, we must know the formula. So in your 12th standard mathematics, you might have learned the standard formula for 0 to infinity e power minus ax sine of bx dx is equal to, this is bx dx will be is equal to, the standard formula will be b divided by a square plus b square. So e power minus ax sine of bx, that is sine of sx, sine of sx. In place of a, here it is 5 is there, here it is 2 is there. So in place of b, s is there. Okay, so fine. So with this formula, then what I have, so Fourier sine transformation of the function f of x will become, so 2 comes outside, b is the s divided by a square will be the 5 square plus s square. Then next 5 will come out, then s divided by 2 square plus s square. So 2s divided by s square plus 25 plus 5s divided by s square plus 4. Okay, so that's it. Then you can stop here. This is the Fourier sine transformation of the function f of x. Next, what we need to determine? Fourier cosine transformation. So Fourier cosine transformation. So Fourier cosine transformation. The Fourier cosine transformation will be defined as, so Fourier cosine transformation of the function f of x will be defined as 0 to infinity f of x cos of sx into dx. So in place of f of x, we have 2 into e power minus x. So that means this will become, so 2 comes out, 0 to infinity e power minus 5x into cos of sx dx, plus 5 will come out, 0 to infinity e power minus 2x cos of sx dx. Then again there is a standard integration formula to solve this. The standard integration formula will be 0 to infinity e power minus ax cos of bx with respect to x will be is equal to a divided by a square plus b square. The constant term divided by a square plus b square. So with this formula, what I'll get here? So Fourier transformation, cosine transformation of the given function will become, so 2 into a, that is 5 divided by 5 square plus s square plus 5 into 2 divided by, so a square plus b, that is 2 square plus s square, that is 10 divided by s square is 25 plus s square, so 10 divided by 4 plus s square. So this will be the answer. Okay, so in this way we can solve the problems very easily. Okay, so be careful. So whether it is the sine transformation or cosine transformation, so what is the thing will be, you need to remember here, whether it is a sine transformation or cosine transformation, the important thing is you must know the integrations. If you don't know the integration, then it is very difficult. So that means you will stuck up there. Okay, fine. So we'll take some other examples also. Let us take another example. Fourier sine transformation and cosine transformation. Yeah. So let us have another example. The problem as follows. Find the Fourier sine transformation of f of x will be is equal to x for 0 less than x less than 1, 2 minus x for 1 less than x less than 2, 0 for x greater than 2. Okay, so we need to determine the Fourier sine transformation. So directly we have the formula. Fourier sine transformation of the function f of x will be is equal to, so limits are from 0 to infinity, the function is f of x and the sine of sx into dx. But the line from 0 to infinity you have to break up into here the two parts. 0 to infinity integration way, 0 to 1 I have something, then 1 to 2 I have something, then greater than 2 nothing. So after that, so 0 to 1 what I have the function here, 0 to 1 it is 1, in between 1 and 2 I have it is 2 minus x, so 2 and beyond infinity I have 0. So you don't need to worry, something like 0 to 1, 1 to 2, then 2 to infinity, this integration is not required, automatically becomes 0, the function value will be 0 here. So according to this integration, then what I have, f of s, Fourier transformation of f of x, of course I will get f of s, that is equal to, first I will integrate from 0 to 1, x into sine of sx dx, 1 to 2, so 2 minus x sine of sx dx. Next term is not required, 2 to infinity the function is already 0. Okay, that we don't require for us. Okay, fine. So now what we have here, so integration, simply the integration terms. Okay, so this is the product rule we need to apply here, the product rule, and even here also the product rule, but 2 comes out, then product rule. So first term I will apply the product rule, so this is u and this is u, product. So sin sx integration will be cos minus cos sx by s, so the first term will become minus x into cos of sx divided by s, then minus integration of sin sx minus cos sx by s, then malla integration, then again it will be integration and differentiation of x, that will be 1. The finally I will get here, then plus sin sx divided by s square, with the limits are from 0 to 1, with the limits are from 0 to 1. The next 2 multiplied by sin of sx, so 2 multiplied by sin of sx, it is very simple, that is minus 2, sin integration will be cos of sx divided by s, with the limits are from 1 to 2, with the limits are from 1 to 2, then minus x into sin x is there, minus x into sin x, then again this term will come again, then minus, that integration will become minus x into cos of sx divided by s plus sin of sx divided by s square, with the limits are from 1 to 2. Okay, this will be the terms. Now we substitute the upper limit 1 and lower limit will be 0. Upper limit 1 will contribute, cos 0 will become 1 wherever x is there. Upper limit 1 will contribute but 0 will become 0. Then it will become, upper limit will be contributed and here lower limit will be contributed. But lower limit also become 0 because of this x. So lower limit no contribution at all, only upper limit contribution. Then what about here? So this will be only upper limit contribution. Minus cos s divided by s plus sin s divided by s square. Only upper limit contribution. Then here upper limit I will get 2s and lower limit I will get as 1s. So upper limit if I substitute there, I have minus 2 cos 2s by s, minus minus will become plus 2 cos s by s. Okay, done. Then next here upper limit will come and as well as lower limit will come. Then so what is the upper limit I will get? First upper limit 2 I will substitute, minus minus will become plus and here will come minus. So plus 2 cos 2s by s minus sin of 2s divided by s square, then plus lower limit, minus minus will become plus. Lower limit in x place is 1, that is again here it is minus. Cos s by s plus sin s by s square. So this is the okay, upper limit is 2 and lower limit will be now after simplification. So after simplification, further if I simplify, further simplification I will get, so there are many terms will be cancelled with each other. See here something like yeah, here I think once upper limit minus lower limit, upper limit 2 is up to minus, minus will become plus, lower limit will be 1 cos s by s plus sin s by s square, plus sin s by s square minus sin 2s by s square, 2 cos s by s minus cos s by s. So minus sin s by s square, here sin s by s square 2 times will come, cos s by s 2 times will come, minus 2s divided by 2s, this will come, will be cancelled. So 2 times cos s by s, that term also will cancel. See 2 times cos s by s here, minus cos s by s minus cos s by s, 2 times cos s by s is cancelled. Then what is remaining finally for us? Yeah. So be careful, maybe once again you check here, s by s, cos s by s, cos s by s minus 2 cos by s, then remaining will be sin s by s square minus sin of 2s by s square, sin s by s square. So overall s square is coming sin s minus sin of 2s plus sin s. So we can write it is 2 times sin s minus sin of 2s divided by s square. Then that's it. What can we write here? In place of sin 2s, 2 sin s cos s. So 2 sin s if I can take common, 2 sin s I can take common, then it is 1 is remaining, then cos s is remaining divided by s square. Okay, so this is the way of solving the problems. So first of all, you go through the given problem. So they are asked here, see, you need to determine the Fourier sine transformation of the function. So in the integration we have the limits from 0 to infinity, but the function is 0 to 2 will have the non-zero. Once it is crossing 2, it is 0. That means you no need to perform integration up to 0 to infinity. So 0 to 2 is enough. So 0 to 1 the function is x. Then after that it is 2 minus x. Then rest of the part will be, it is simply for you the integration by part work. That integration by part is very familiar to you. So you like integration by parts will be integration of u into v. So they are functions of x. So first one will be u into integration of v. Then minus, next integration of v into differentiation of u, like this, with the proper limits. Okay, so this you know very well. So this is the way of problem solving which are related to the Fourier sine transformation and Fourier cosine transformations. So you can solve many. Take your textbooks and try to solve one by one, so that you will be familiar with the way of solving the problems. Say for example, there may be a situations, so the how to determine the inverse Fourier transformation. So for example, sometimes we need to determine the inverse Fourier transformation of a function. So sine transformation is over, then cosine transformation is over, then how to determine the inverse transformations. Say for example, I have a function. Let's say I'll take some example. Let's say I'll take a simple example to understand, to demonstrate here. Yeah. Inverse Fourier transformations. Let's say the problem as follows. So find f of s if its Fourier sine transformation is s divided by 1 plus s square. This we need to determine. Find the inverse Fourier transformation. Okay, so we need to determine this. That means what we need to determine here? Fourier sine inverse transformation of s divided by 1 plus s square. This we need to determine. S divided by 1 plus s square. So what is the formula we have? Ready-made formula we have. The ready-made formula we have will be inverse Fourier sine transformation of the function f of s is equal to 2 by pi 0 to infinity Fourier sine transformation sine of sx. Remember here it is integration with respect to s. Integration with respect to s. So then I'll get back f of x. So remember we need to get back f of x. That is f of x will be is equal to 2 by pi into, so 0 to infinity, f of s is given s divided by 1 plus s square into sine of sx into ds. Sine of sx into dx. Okay. Now it is our idea how we will simplify this problem. Okay. So now I will write little bit in the easiest manner. Let's say how I will write here. We can rewrite this just for understand, simplification purpose. We can rewrite this. So I will rewrite this. So how I will rewrite this here? See here, f of x is equal to 2 by pi. So I will not do anything with this 0 to infinity. Let us make 0 to infinity. In the denominator, I will take one s extra. So in the numerator, it will write s square. Then okay, no problem, one s I write. So and I will add 1 and I will subtract 1. I think no problem. Then see what I will do. You will understand in the next step. Sin of x into ds. Okay. So this s I will write here. So then next step it will become f of x will be is equal to 2 by pi into 2 by pi s square plus 1 by 1 plus x square will be cancelled. Then what is remaining? Sin x is remaining, that is 0 to infinity. Sin sx in the numerator is remaining by s. Then this minus sign, obviously this minus sign. Then again from 2 by pi, of course don't forget 0 to infinity. 0 to infinity. Then what is remaining? In the numerator it is sin of sx. In the denominator it is s multiplied by 1 plus s square. And of course integration with respect to ds, that you don't forget. Integration with respect to ds. So this is the first integral, the standard integral. I will get here, it is pi by 2. 0 to infinity sin sx by s, that is even derived in the previous sessions. Okay. So now what I will have here? So f of x will be is equal to pi by 2 means what I will get here? 2 cancel, pi cancel, I will get 1. So 1 minus 2 by pi 0 to infinity sin of sx s into 1 plus s square into ds. This will be the situation. Now what do you do? So this is obviously directly not possible to solve this. We will adopt some indirect techniques. So indirect technique. So what you do now? You differentiate this. Differentiate with respect to x. As it is a function of x, d by dx of f of x. One differentiation is 0. Then it is minus 2 by pi, 0 to infinity. With respect to x, only in the numerator it is there, cos of sx divided by s into 1 plus s square into ds. Okay. Then again you differentiate. Again differentiate with respect to x. Again we differentiate. That is d square x by dx square. So when we again differentiate, minus 2 by pi 0 to infinity, cos differentiation will come as minus s into cos of sx divided by s into 1 plus s square into ds. Minus minus will become plus. So minus minus will become plus. This is d square by dx square. F of x will be is equal to, so ss will cancel, 2 by pi into 0 to infinity, I am sorry, cos differentiation I am supposed to put here sin. This is sin. This is sin. This is sin. Sin of sx. So ss cancel, then I have sin of sx divided by ss cancel, that is 1 plus s square into ds. So now see here, so what I have, what is this function? So what is this function will be? So s is not cancelled, s is there. I am sorry here. Just a second. Just a second here. F of x. One time with differentiation, 1 will become 0. Sin differentiation will come as cos of x sx into s. So cos of sx into s. That time itself s will come here. This s and this s will be cancelled. So this s will be no more. This s will be no more. This is not there. Okay. Now I have one s extra in the numerator. This is the s. S into sin of sx by 1 plus s square. Now what is this? Now what is this? So this is again f of x. Now what is this will be? See here, just a second. Yeah, this is the function f of x. This s by 1 plus x square. Then finally also I have s by 1 plus s square. So that means I can write like this. D square by dx square f of x 2 by pi 0 to infinity s divided by 1 plus s square. So sin of sx ds. So that means indirectly this is the function and we are determining the Fourier transformation. That means this is again f of x. Again this is f of x. So that means d square by dx square f of x is equal to f of x. Now solve this second order ODE for f of x. Second order ODE for f of x. Okay. Now we will solve this. So this can be written as d square by dx square f of x minus f of x will be is equal to 0. This is the second order ODE. Then how to solve this? It has the solution will be in the form of solution of this will be power series solution we can apply. Then solution of this function will be f of x is equal to a into e power x plus b into e power minus x. This will be in the form of a into e power x plus b into e power minus x. Okay. Yeah. So then doubt will come, then how to determine the conditions? How to determine the conditions? So here a plus b will be how we need to determine. How we need to determine. That is very important for us. See here. A and b can be determined. So once I know this a value and once I know this b value, then it is easy task for us to determine. Then see f of x I have, then what is the d by dx of f of x? D by dx of a into e power x minus b into e power minus x. So this I have assumed the solution and this is in my hand. With the thing is that I don't know the a and b values. Somehow I need to determine the a and b values. Okay. So a and b values. So you check here. We know in the above. So we know what is that f of x I have taken? That is 1 minus integration from 0 to infinity. Integration from 0 to infinity. Sin of sx divided by s into 1 plus s square into ds. Suppose if I put x is equal to 0, Put s is equal to 0. Now you see here, when I substitute x equal to 0, this entire thing will become 0. I'll get f of x will be is equal to 1. So I got one boundary condition. So when I apply here x equal to 0, e power 0 is 1, e power 0. That means from here I'll get a plus b is equal to 1. Then what is the df by dx I have? Already we know another one, that is df by dx. So that I have df by dx will be is equal to minus 2 by pi 0 to infinity cos of sx divided by 1 plus s square into dx. Then again if I put x is equal to 0 here, then what I'll get? X equal to 0 I'll get here, cos 0 will become 1. So like when x is equal to 0, cos 0 will become 1, then 1 by 1 plus x square, that will become, so that is minus 2 by pi integration from 0 to infinity 1 by 1 plus s square into, remember it is ds. So 1 by 1 plus s square will be the tan inverse of s, that is 2 by pi into tan inverse of s. So lower limit is 0, that is 0, upper limit is infinity, that is infinity is the pi by 2, that will become minus 1. This I will get as a minus 1. So with this another boundary condition, what I have finally? So I have finally in the df by dx, a into e power minus x, b into e power minus x. So x plus 0, that is a minus b will become, so a minus b will become, so a minus b will become minus 1. Now I have a plus b1 equation and a minus b1 equation. Solve for a minus b is equal to minus 1. Now solve for a and b. Solve for a and b. Then I'll get the a values and b values. So I'll get a value is 0 and b value is 1. So once I have a value 0 and b value 1, then what is obviously f of x? F of x will be a into e power x plus b into e power minus x. That is f of x will be is equal to e power minus x. So little bit inverse Fourier transformations will be tough. Tough means this is the way we need to solve the integration, that is important. Then how we will solve the integration is important. This indirect techniques we need to apply sometimes. So, okay, be careful. I think understood everybody. I think with this you got an idea of solving the problems related to sine and cosine transformations. Remember the definitions of sine and cosine. Okay. Thank you. We'll meet in the next class.